As we come to that place in our worship where we share our joys and our concerns, let me be first. This morning, it's a joy for me and also Dee to have all of my family here this morning. And so that you will know something about who I am and why I am, I want to take a couple of moments to tell you about my 4 kids.
Are you all ready?
Maybe one of the details about you.
Is the door locked?
They are back here. He'll lock it.
Rob, when he was a little fellow, I had taken him visiting one afternoon, and we were standing on the lawn overlooking the Chesapeake Bay, and I guess he had had enough of it all, and he walked over and pulled my trouser leg and said, "Dad, let's go. You're wasting my time." And Kim, our younger daughter, in college, you never get to see the grades of your students anymore. They seem to somehow keep that within the privacy of the student. But Kim, in conversation from time to time, when it gets a little bit murky, she reminds us that she's the one who got an A in logic. Jackie is the one who told her friend when they were a bit younger that her dad would talk to a fence post.
That explains a lot.
And Melanie, when she was quite small, we were sitting at the dinner table one evening eating, and I suppose I had been complaining about what had happened that day. And she looked up and said, "Dad, why don't you get a real job? You only work once a week." So you see, those 52 years that I have invested in ministry really hasn't been all that great when you consider just the Sunday. With those 4 kids are their husbands and wives and their children, my grandchildren. Rob and his wife Amy, and Kim and her husband Chris, and their children. Who are they? They're Miles and Haley and Sadie. And Jackie and her husband Mike, and Ian. Don't get to see him much anymore. And Abby, and I believe each of them has a friend with them this morning. Welcome. And then, of course, Kim, Melanie, and her husband Dave, and Natalie, Valerie, and Emily. That's our family, and if it had permitted, I'm sure that Dee's family would have also been here, especially her daughter Melissa and her husband Kevin and their 3 children, some of whom you've heard a great deal about, Jordan, Miles, and the little one, Paige. Oh, I said Miles. Jordan, Chase, and Paige. Paige is the one who thinks everything is always perfect. Do you have joys and concerns that you'd like to share this morning?
Yes, I have a joy.
Good.
It has been my great joy and my great privilege to be in this church for the last probably 2.5 years, and to have you and Dee as my pastors. And I say you and Dee because while you stand behind the pulpit, Dee stands behind you.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you so very, very much for what you have shown me and for how much you mean to me. You'll never know how much you mean to me. That's been my joy that I will always take with me. Thank you.
I think that goes for both of us, John, Buzz, for all of us. And I can't tell you enough how much you have meant to us. And I want to thank your family, all of them, for sharing you with us. for these past years.
About 10 years ago, Ken said to me, Uncle Buzz is going to be our minister. I want you to come to the first service. And we started coming back to church because of it.
Absolutely, he's my uncle. He's my aunt.
Well, he's my
And
brother.
that doesn't change.
I
After retirement.
He's my brother from another mother.
And Uncle Chuck, when that first word of the first hymn came out, the look on your face, it had to have been something to be up there and hear that coming towards you.
Yes, it was.
Other joys and or concerns?